Welcome or welcome back. My name is Kandra, and I'm here today to share some yoga with you. I have my trusty best friends back here, Iris and Cersei, and today we have a beginner's class for you. This is part 4 in our 5-part series. So if you haven't done the first 3 classes, rewind it up, look on my page, and go ahead and check those out. Today is balancing with high lunge and warrior 3. So grab your setup, your mat, a blanket, and some blocks, and let's get started. All right, so starting today in a nice, comfortable seat, taking your hips on a little bit of height, right? A blanket or a block to help open up your hip flexors and really help you in keeping your spine nice and tall. So find your natural breath. If you'd like to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. And just paying attention to your breath, not trying to alter it in any way. You can feel the rise and fall of your chest, the expansion of the belly. And feel how everything contracts when you exhale. Now find some nice softness in your shoulders and in your hands. But feel the crown of that head pulling toward the sky. Argus was just practicing his bored breath back there. All right, so now that we're a little bit more in tune to our inner body, if you'd like to set an intention, go ahead and do that today. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And today we're going to get started on all fours. So go ahead and turn yourself around. If you'd like a blanket under your knees, that would be great. I'm going to take mine wide because we're going to take our knees wide today. So finding an all four position, except for your knees are going as wide as the mat, right? Wrists are under shoulders. Again, long spine, back of the neck, very long. So the back of the neck is really facing the sky while your crown is pulling toward that wall in front of you. So on your inhale here, breathe in, left arm to the sky, finding a reach, an intentional reach. And then exhale, thread it through your arm and leg. So we're threading the needle, finding a nice twist in the back. Then breathe in, open it up again. Exhale it under the bridge. And on this last one, taking that nice breath in, and as we let it all go, letting our shoulder and our head come to the floor, and we'll pause here. You could keep your right hand here on the mat, right by you, pushing in to get a little more stretch in the back body. You could take it long, or you can rest it on your back, whatever works for you today. And on your next inhale, coming back to all fours. Exhale it out here as we get started. The other side. So inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, again, threading it through. Next breath in, up it goes again. Down we go. And last one, taking it all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, thread it through. Shoulder and head to the mat and pause. And as we did with the other side, finding an arm variation that you would like. Now try to imagine a long spine even though you're in a twist. And push through that left hand, coming back to your all fours, this time taking the knees under the hips. Breathe in, dropping the belly just slightly shining the heart to the wall in front of you, keeping the neck neutral for a nice cow pose. Exhale. Ripple through that spine. So low back, mid back, up back, up back, upper back, and head drops while everything else rounds like a big arch. And again, the opposite. So dropping, shining that heart forward in front of you, keeping the neck long. And breathe out. Ripple through right up the spine. Head hanging heavy. And curl those toes under. Just send the hips back a little. Inhale, come forward. This time, shoulders going a little past the wrist. Get a little wrist stretch there. Exhale, taking it back. Inhale, wrist stretch forward. And this time, curl those toes under if they weren't already. And lift your hips, taking them back for a downward facing dog. So you need to readjust your hands like I do. Readjust your hands. Maybe you can hear the church bells ringing in the distance for a nice little background music for us. Pedal through the feet here. And roll your triceps up and under to support you. Belly button moves toward the spine. So we want a long back, so we're not rounding. We're also not trying to give ourselves some extra chest to the ground, right? We want to keep a long spine here for that breath to move through us. Next time you breathe in, come on out to plank. And again, if you need to readjust your hands, find your plank, broad upper back, hips maybe a little higher than you think. Try to really make that back long. Knees come to the mat. This time, knees together. We'll go for a little child's pose. And then breathe in. Coming back, curl those toes under. Here we go. Downward facing dog. Again, pedaling for a moment. Pedal as you walk your toes together, okay? Now bend the knees deeply. Find a long spine. As you exhale, send your hips to one of your two sides. Doesn't matter which one. You're going to inhale to the middle, and on your exhale, dropping the hip to a side. Keeping those nice long arms. If this is just not working for your arms, come back to the all fours and take the hips from side to side there. Okay? Make sure it's evened out. And then come back to downward facing dog. This time, breathe in, lifting the left leg to the sky. And then open that hip. So you're stacking the hips on top of each other. Flexing the foot, bending the leg for a three-legged dog, right? Then inhale, level the hips, and drop the foot back. Knees come to the mat. Uncurl the toes, sitting back on your feet. Let's just roll the wrists real quick, okay? If you're not used to down dog, it can be a killer all the way around, right? So taking frequent breaks while you're really learning to stay in it longer, it's a great idea. All right, so taking them back to the mat. Curl the toes under. Up we go, exhaling to downward facing dog. This time, lifting your right leg to the sky. Open the hips, stack them, bend the leg, flex the foot. Now, if you can see that I have my chest totally open here, I want to aim that chest to the ground, keeping my shoulders in line, triceps moving up and under. But try to open the hips. So a beautiful twist. Your leg can be totally bent, your standing leg, right? Doesn't matter. Next time you breathe in, level the hips. And as you exhale, drop the foot. And one more time, knees to the mat. Uncurl those toes. And roll the wrists. And this time, take your hands to your lap and with a nice tall breath, inhale. And just a couple circles here. To the back. And then around to the front. And once you're finished with a couple circles, Take them back. Yep, we're going back to downward facing dog. Lift those hips. All right, this time breathe in, lifting your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through the hands. So this is where your blocks come in handy. So placing your blocks alongside your mat. You can go ahead and come up to blocks if you'd like, or if you want your hands on the ground, either way. The point here isn't to get the hands on the ground, it's to have a long back, right? So if this is happening on the ground for you, come on up. Leveling the hips. So we're not opening the hip like we did for Warrior 2. We're keeping it nice and straight ahead. Think about engaging that back quad. That leg is usually kind of hanging, right? We don't want everything in the front. So there we are. This time, pushing through that front foot, pushing through those back toes. Breathe in, coming up to the thigh. We should be on railroad tracks here, so if you notice your stance is too narrow, you always put your hands back down for a second. You need to step in, whatever works. Here we are in high lunge. Breathe in, taking our hands to the sky. Now we're in this beautiful balance. So to stay here, think of inner thighs moving toward each other. So you're shoring these up, moving them in. You'll feel that engagement and through your thigh, through your front your front glute. Now bending through the back knee. So inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to bend that back knee and really check our hips. So bring that back hip forward, maybe a little bit upright. So we want it level horizontally and vertically. Now if you want, straighten the back leg. And yes, I know, we've been here for a second, right? That's okay. We got it. We got it. Now the exhale, take the hands back to the blocks. Good job. Good job. Working our way down to the mat so you can either step back, hands on blocks, or move them out of the way for you. Back to plank. So there we are this time. Inhale, long spine, dropping those knees, keeping the body in one line now. Elbows kissing the ribs. Coming down all the way to the floor. All right, there we are. Whew, this is nice, right? Breathe in. Hands under shoulders, lifting the chest. So I want you to think about your chest coming up, not your head. Still gazing at the mat. Can you move your head from side to side? Take a little bit of that stress out of it, right? Exhale. Take it down. Good. Breathe in. Push through those hands. Through the knees. Up to downward facing dog. Good job. Let's do the other side. So you've been through it once, so here we go. Lifting the right leg to the sky. Open the hips. Flex the foot. Bend the knee. Remember the collarbones. Aim them toward the mat. Have that twist in the lower body. You might notice a difference from side to side. I know I do. And the next time you breathe in, level those hips. Straighten that leg and start stepping it through. It doesn't matter where you step. Right? Step to work it through. Grab your blocks into your runner's lunge. So let's check the feet. Are we on railroad tracks here? Check. Are my hips looking sort of level? Check. Okay. Long body. But on your next breath, let's move it up to the front knee. So we have our hands just above the knee or maybe on your thigh. Finding your balance again. Inner thighs moving toward each other. Shore up those legs, right? You feel everything like just kind of sucking up through a straw, through the middle. Yeah. Take the arms all the way to the sky. Woo, there we are. Feel everything moving toward the midline, right? And pay attention to that back foot. Are you kicking that ankle out to the side? Make sure you press into the big toe mound there. Now, take your hands to your hips, bend that knee. Let's level it out. Right, level the hips front and back. And then straighten as you will or as you can or as you want to. I know, here we are. Take the good breath, good job. Exhale. Take it back to your blocks. Well done. Step it back. Hands to the mat. And there we are. Plank position. Breathe in. Long body. Push up out of those shoulders. Really push, 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 push. Exhale. Knees to the mat. Shoulders coming right along the ribs. I mean, elbows. That would be interesting if your shoulders could come along your ribs. All right. Face down to the mat on your next breath in. Baby cobra. So hands are under shoulders, long neck, but your thighs are on fire right there. Engage. Exhale, take it down. Breathe in. Baby cobra. Try taking the hands off the mat if that works for you. Thighs again, totally on fire here. Long neck. You can move it around to make sure you're not holding tension there. Exhale it down. One more. Breathe it in. And this time, if you want to take your feet with you, your legs can be wide or you can zip them up together. But those quads, front of your legs, are giving you a good foundation and keeping this out of your back. So your back is working safely. And exhale it down. Place your face on one, or turn your head, I should say, with one cheek on the mat. And then let's take it to the other side, so equal time on each cheek. And then coming back to center. Breathe in, push. Back up to downward facing dog. Adjust your hands and feet as necessary. Again, triceps coming in. Think of your tailbone sort of rounding down toward the back. I think church is out. Rounding that tailbone down so you have a long open back. This time breathe the left leg in. Exhale it again. We're going to step through. If you want your blocks, grab your blocks. And there we are in that runner's lunge. So you're familiar with this, right? And making that back leg super engaged, pushing up out of the shoulders. This time we're going to take hands back to blocks, move them forward in front of you, and try to put as little weight into them as possible. Bend through the back knee. Breathing in, and on an exhale, keeping the fingertips light in the front, moving up to warrior three. So this position, your back leg is energized to the back. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here. It doesn't matter. Your standing leg can be bent or straight. I have very tight hamstrings and glutes at the moment, so I'm bending my knee. Long body, back of the neck is long. You're not looking down at your foot. Your face is pointing to the mat. All right, and if you want to try to take a hand off, you can. It is actually harder from this position, so let's just work on feeling this. All right, exhale. Lower the foot. Taking the hands down either on the blocks or on the mat. Moving it back to your plank position. This time we're going to stay up. And inhale one leg up real quick. Woo, exhale it down. There you go. The other leg, I should say. And exhale it down. As you breathe in, get that long spine ready to exhale all the way to the back for downward facing dog. There we go. Breathe in, right leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping it through. Finding your blocks. Again, feet on railroad tracks. There we go. We know what this looks like, right? So this time, moving forward, bending through the back knee, stepping up to warrior three. Flex that back foot, level your hip so that left hip isn't high. long neck, belly pulled in. Beautiful, and then step it back. Here we are, runner's lunge, back to plank. Beautiful. Breathe in, long back. Exhale, dropping the knees, taking everything to the mat. Okay, on your next breath in, baby cobra. There we are, right? Still looking at the mat. Hands can come up here. You've done this once. Or you can leave your hands down, whichever you prefer, but they can come up. Exhale. This time, both the hands and the feet can come up. Softly move your neck from side to side. Dip your chin. Try to loosen it in the neck so that your body is doing the work here. Your lower body, right? Your low back, your shoulder blades, your quads, but not your neck. One more breath, you can do it. And exhale, take a cheek to the mat. Feel that release in your body. And 2 full breaths on this side. And then turn it to the other side. Even everything out. And then the next time you breathe in, push hands back under. Shoulders are really tight. Push up. Lifting the hips. Taking everything back to downward facing dog. Taking everything back to child's pose. Breathe in, push yourself back up. And this time we're going to move to our backs. Before we go down, we'll fix the leggings that like to roll. Put your feet on the floor. Find your long back. Take your hands in front of you. All we're looking for here is a long back. If this is better for you. Matter. So long back, working a little core as we move to the floor. So I'm going to keep my back straight as long as I can. Trying to keep my breath calm. Very challenging. And then when I get to that part where it's all going to go, I'm going to start rolling. So think of tucking the chin, rounding the back. Maybe the feet come off the floor as you come all the way down. All right, there we are. On our backs, feeling good, knowing that you did some really good work with your feet. So there we are on our backs. Try readjusting your hips so that your sacrum comes down on the mat a little bit more, right? So your tailbone's going to round down, kind of up, right? Feeling that low back press in. And then if you have a blanket in the way like I do, you move it out of the way. Bringing your feet under your knees. So you're really going to think of tucking your feet tight into your seat, right? Palms now face down. Take a quick look down. Knees are straight up from the hips. We're not out to the side. We're not tucking really tight. Just straight up. Inhale, lifting your seat. Now, one of the things that's very easy to do here, and I do this all the time, is I push out with my belly. That is not helping me to come up, okay? That's not helping to hold me into place. In fact, what that is doing, if I'm pushing my abs that way, it's helping my abs to want to form like this, right? So belly button to the spine as the spine lifts, if that makes sense, okay? Push into the ground with your hands, your forearms, and your upper arm. Knees move toward each other, inner thighs shore up. And your neck is long. And take a full breath here and bridge. And exhale it down. One more bridge. This time we're going to roll the shoulders under. So breathe in, same thing, belly button to the spine as the hips lift, the low back lifts. And if you like, you can roll your shoulders under. I'm not going to because I have a sore shoulder. Roll them under and clasp your hands behind your back. You can even walk your feet in closer and hug on your elbows. Either way, soft neck here. You can move your head a little bit to see how soft it is, or if you're holding tension. Really think of pushing through the upper back here. Find a soft breath if you can. And exhale, taking it all down. Good job, good job. Last thing we're going to do today. Pick up your hips. All right, inhale, long body, exhale. Lift to the right side of your mat, all the way over. And then drop your hips to the left. Arms can come out to a T shape. And looking back over your right arm. So knees are in one direction and your head is facing the other. If this is enough, stay here. If not, take your right leg and cross it over your left. So now your right foot's going to be closer to the ground. You're crossed over. It's going to help weight your body down. That feels good. Beautiful. Stay there. And try to move your right shoulder more toward the earth. Now let gravity help you here instead of you helping your legs. Relax into your arms. Now breathe in as you start moving your hips back toward the mat. Uncross the legs. And if you'd like to cross the other side, you can start the cross here, or if you want to keep both feet on the ground. Let's pick up the hips. This time, put them over to the left side, all the way over. Start twisting just your hips, your legs moving to the right side while your head turns toward your left. And once again, finding that point where you start melting into the earth. Now fill your body with air. And exhale then as you move back toward uncross the legs, center the hips. And take your legs long for Shavasana. If you do have a sore low back, or if you find a lot of times you're arching, go ahead and put the blanket under your knees. This will help support them and help to take a little bit of that round out of your back, okay? Move your hands wherever you'd like them to be for Shavasana. Body is melting like ice into the floor in a soft, gentle, and beautiful way. You might feel some expansion in the chest. or through the legs. Still having that flow of water, but maybe this time it's cool water. Refreshing, but still fluid. When you're ready, put your feet under your knees and roll onto your side. Feeling a nice exhale there. And then push up to a seated position. And then find your comfortable seat. Take those hands to prayer, up to third eye right here. And then take those hands to prayer. Finding a moment of gratitude for yourself, for showing up. Doing something beautiful for your body, for your heart, your mind, your soul. And you take your hands to your third eye. And thank you for joining me and sharing your yoga journey with me. But most of all, thank yourself for being here for you. I'm giving you a little bow. Say thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe if you really like this. You can turn on those notifications if you want to get a little ding, ding, ding for me each time I post something that might work for you. So thanks for coming. Have a great day.